Jimmy Stein's famous countdown continues, and today we might be surprising you with who he has on his list.
You are Locked On Bama, your daily podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody, welcome back into Locked On Bama. Wait a minute, I'm going to switch our places. There we go. That's where we need to be. Hey, everybody.
Showed some waddle-like quickness there.
Hey, everybody, welcome back into Locked On Bama. Luke Robinson, that's me. Jimmy Stein, that's him. Jimmy, we're going to start out continuing your county-wide famous, depending on the county.
Which county?
It does depend on the county. I think we're at number 78. Tell me if I'm wrong.
That's exactly right. We're at number 78, and it's sort of a countdown. It's not really a countdown, although we are approximately 78 days from the start of fall camp. It's really a release one day at a time of my roster ranking the roster, the 2023 football team. And it really needs to be kept in mind about today's guy, because when I say today and I say he's the 78th ranked player on the roster, all you guys that know the team really well, and I know you do, you wouldn't listen to the show, you're going to be like, Stein's lost his mind again. Qua Russaw. Yeah, I know he's going to be awesome. But this is a ranking of the 2023 football team. And I just don't see how Qua Russaw doesn't redshirt. Now, there could be injuries. He could blow up and just end up being too good to keep off the field some way or another. But, Luke, I count up, look, we know who's starting at outside linebacker this fall. That's not a secret. Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell, they were basically starters a year ago. Chris Braswell was off the bench, sure, but he played so much. He was considered a co-starter at outside linebacker along with Dallas and Will Anderson. But Dallas returns, Chris Braswell returns. They're going to play most of the snaps. Off the bench, Q Robinson has been kind of a revelation, super highly recruited out of high school, number one prospect in Alabama, but then spent about 2 years very quiet with people wondering, is he a bust? Is he ever going to play? Why hadn't things worked out with Q? Is he hurt? And then lo and behold, late last fall, boom, you see him on the field with the first team. And then this spring, with Turner and Braswell both hurt, Q sort of took over that outside linebacker spot. He was the best outside linebacker on the team this spring, dominant in all the scrimmages and on A-Day. And he's the third guy. I think the fourth guy is likely to be Keon Keeley. As good as Qua Russaw is as a freshman coming in, a freshman signee, as good as Qua is, Keon Keeley's a Superman type prospect. I'm putting him fourth, and just because I just can't fathom Keon Keeley not being on the field. Now, he's a freshman. You never really know until you know, but I'm comfortable with Keon Keeley as a guy who would project to be the fourth outside linebacker. So now we're getting down to Qua, and I haven't even talked about Keanu Coate, who had a great spring. I think he had 3 sacks on A-Day, and Jeremiah Alexander, who we know is good too. So with me, it's just the depth at that position. Quay's a freshman. He's learning. He had a quiet spring. That doesn't mean a thing. He's just learning the scheme, the playbook, the position. He's being asked to do things at Alabama he wasn't asked to do when he was in high school at Carver. So I just see Qua as how many snaps can he get realistically? And if it's realistically not a lot, it just makes all the sense in the world to redshirt him. Doesn't mean we won't see him in 4 games and the bowl. But that's just why, goodness gracious, hard to believe I would project that dude right there to redshirt at anything. But that's how deep we are.
I was going to say, this is the man right here that I'm showing you a picture of. If you're on YouTube, that's who you say will be our 78th best player this year.
Yeah, exactly. In my application for Alabama to be the 33rd NFL team, this is our 78th best player. No, but it is a ranking, a list, and Qua actually ends this segment of my rankings where these are my projected redshirt. Of the guys that I'm projecting to redshirt, Qua is the best player of that group, in my opinion. Now, there are going to be other true freshmen on the list, but the true freshmen I have on the list are either guys that I think will play significant roles or they're just unlikely to redshirt. I think they're going to play, and that's why they would rank ahead of Qua in terms of a ranking of the 2023 football team. If I was ranking overall talent on the roster, Qua would obviously be much higher, but I don't even know what that list would mean. It wouldn't mean anything for this fall.
If you're on YouTube, then I've put another picture up of Qua Russaw. He is pretty physically imposing in this picture. I would invest in a larger uniform if I were him, but that's just me.
He looks like Ruben to me. He does
look
a lot like Ruben. Ruben was built a lot. Now Ruben thinned up a little bit when he was in college. We really worked on Ruben's issue when he got to Alabama was playing in space. So they wanted him to lose some weight, gain some quickness, and it actually made him a much better all around every down linebacker. And Qua could end up inside. That's another thing I didn't get to in my little spiel about Qua. He for those wanting to know, he was at outside linebacker this spring, every practice, all 15 practices. He was at outside linebacker in Coleman Hutzler's group. I did hear, I didn't hear necessarily buzz. What I heard from inside the walls was that Coleman and Coach Saban took a lot of interest in Qua. He got a lot of individualized coaching this spring. They got on him a lot, and that's good. That's good. When you're a freshman and you're not in the two deep and they're still yelling at you all practice long, that's good. That means they are watching you, and that's actually a good sign for the future. But they're on him a lot, so that's really actually good.
I'm going to tell you right now, though, you're going to really upset him, assuming he is a loyal watcher and listener to this show, which we believe every player is. You're going to really upset him when James Smith is ranked much, much, much higher.
Based on what happened this spring, I can't help it. I think James proved, and he's going to be much higher in the rankings simply because I think James is going to play with the first team. I don't know if he'll necessarily be a starter like Jaheim Otis was a year ago, but I do think James Smith is going to play with the first team and be part of that rotation with Otis and a Boygby and Tim Smith and Damon Payne, James Smith, and Jamil Burroughs. There's 6 guys right there.
All right, Jimmy, I need to tell everybody about Bird Dogs now. This episode is brought to you by Bird Dogs. For whatever reason, a live read has not loaded yet for me. I don't know why. It should be loading for me. So I guess I just got to tell you about how awesome I think Bird Dog is, and I just got it to load. That's how. I was
going to say, send the Bird Dog after it. Bird Dog will find it.
Bird Dog, that is so true. And I can't. Have you gotten your Bird Dog merch yet?
I have not, but I've gotten in this terrible habit since the big move that we don't check the mail every single day. So for all I know, it could be down there.
So I'm telling you, it's all about fit and comfort and versatility with Bird Dog. These things just fit so well, and they just make you feel better. Look, if you dress well, you feel good. That's just the way it is. I know it's supposed to be if you dress good, you feel good, but I'm trying to be proper on English, just like I'm trying to dress better. So you look better, you feel better, everything all the way around. Look, you just want to look good when you're out there, and these are perfect for frat boys, for guys that aren't in the frat, for college kids in general. These are perfect for guys like you and me in their 50s that, it accentuates the good parts of you. That's what you love about Bird Dog. I'm just telling you, you're going to love these things. Go check out birddogs.com. You want to use promo code LOCKEDONCollege. They'll throw in a free custom Bird Dogs Yeti style tumbler with every single order. Go to birddogs.com/lockedoncollege, birddogs.com/lockedoncollege. And, the Pardon My Take host, PFT, if you follow Pardon My Take, you know what I'm talking about. He famously never wears pants, and the only shorts he really loves are the Bird Dog shorts. That's a big deal. He never wears pants. I don't know what that's all about, but I do know he wears shorts, and the shorts he likes to wear are Bird Dogs. So go check out birddogs.com/lockedoncollege. And if you type in the promo code LOCKEDONCollege, you will get a free Yeti style Tumblr. Go to Bird Dogs. We can't wait to show off our merch as soon as we get it. I've tried this stuff before. It's awesome. So, yeah, going to be great. Love having them as a sponsor. Please give them a try. Just give them a try. That's all we ask. Just try it on and then go from there. All right. On the next episode, we will continue Jimmy's countdown. No telling who he's going to make mad next time. But, right now.
The guys I'm saying, I think these guys are going to redshirt. That part's over. Tomorrow is going to be an actual non-redshirt, a veteran of the team. And again, these guys are ranked pretty low. As a guy, I doubt we see a whole lot of in the fall, but he's been on the team for a while.
Jimmy, I think it's fair that we all decide as Alabama fans, it's just going to be a lot easier at this point if we all move to Charlotte, North Carolina. The Carolina Panthers drafted Bryce Young. We believe the Charlotte Bobcats will take our main man, Brandon Miller. I was thrilled at some of the recent tweets that immediately came out about how, hey, look, NBA scouts and GMs have, tried to comb through everything in Brandon Miller's past, and they have found out he's just a good dude. Like, yeah, was he caught up in something completely inadvertently, unpurposefully, and really just by happenstance in a way? Yes, he was. And it's a shame because there's still people out there, associating his name with what turned out to be the death of a young lady that never should have happened. But I think in the end, people are realizing, people that matter, the people that don't matter aren't realizing this, and they'll never realize it. But the people that matter are realizing this had nothing to do with him. And this is not a reflection on him or him as a person or anything like that, or what he'll be as a player. And I really hope he ends up going second. That'd be pretty amazing to have the first player taking the NFL draft and the second player taking the NBA draft.
Yeah, I hope it's Charlotte too. And I think they're the Hornets now again. They're the Hornets again and not the Bobcats.
Did I say Bobcats?
You said Bobcats, but they were the Bobcats, and now they're the Hornets. And it's almost like it's very difficult to remember. It's difficult to remember who the Tennessee Titans were before. So anyway, I hope. I'm kind of conflicted here, Luke. I mean, I'm not an NBA expert by any means, though I did watch the game last night. It was very entertaining. But I'm not an NBA expert by any means. But it's my understanding from reading in the last 24 hours, Brandon might be better off if he was selected third by Portland. In terms of Portland seems to be a team very close to winning. They have a superstar in Dame Lillard. It's a good place to live. Portland's just a nice spot, great basketball support they get in Portland. And Charlotte seems to be a little bit more of a basketball mess in terms of no one seems to see the plan there. How's Brandon going to fit in? They already have multiple two guards and small forwards, and it's a little bit of a mess. So Brandon might be better off going third. I think he's going to go second. I do. That's just my guess. And I think he'll go to Charlotte and making the lemonade out of lemons. Like Luke said, to me, it's fun that he could. And Bryce is in Charlotte in the sense that now they're in the South, not far actually from Brandon's childhood home near Nashville. Not a far drive from Nashville to Charlotte. So I hope he's the second pick because it's more money and it's more prestigious. If he falls to 3, though, I won't be upset because I think he might be going to a better team. What will surprise me is if he's not going second or third, or if those picks get traded. That would also surprise me because I'm not sure you can do anything better for yourself than to draft Brandon Miller second or third. I'm not sure what you get out of the trade. Portland and Charlotte need young stars, and Brandon's certainly going to be one.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Brandon. I'm really happy for Alabama basketball. Let's throw this in there. Noah Clowney could be a very top draft pick. In fact, I saw a mock draft which actually has the Hornets taking Miller and taking Clowney. How about that?
The only thing that would be better than that is the Pelicans taking Brandon Miller and Clowney and us having 4 guys down there. But no, that would be great. Clowney, I've read some interesting things on him. I do believe he will also go in the first round, and he needs to. I mean, I say this about the freshmen that are the ones and the dones. You better be in the first round and get that guaranteed money, because things could really go sideways for you in a hurry, and then you're still young enough to be in college and you're out of the NBA. So I hope for Clowney's sake he goes the first round. I believe he will. It'd be awesome if he ended up in the same place as Brandon, because there's a comfortability, with that in terms of having a friend on the team. Probably a big deal when you're young, and Noah's only like 19 years old. Brandon's actually the oldest guy projected to be taken in the lottery, which is really kind of crazy in this day and age, right? He's a 20-year-old freshman at Alabama, but he of the 14 guys projected to be the lottery picks, Brandon is the oldest.
Yeah, he's like 20.4 years old, and Noah Clowney's like 18.7 years old, according to the, because they use the point system, 0.7 point whatever it is, and that's interesting. Boy, I would love for both of those guys to go to the same place. I don't give a dang where they end up. I'd be a fan of that team.
Did you watch a lot of Wembanyama highlights last night when they were showing the draft stuff?
No. God, what was it? Oh, I was doing a show last night, so I didn't get to see much of it. But yeah, I've seen
him before too. It wasn't the first, but that's the most extensive highlight breakdown I've seen of him recently. Victor Wembanyama, who I'm talking about. Unbelievable. And we know what Wojo said about him last time. We're talking about Wojo here, Adrian Wojciechowski, who's ESPN's #1 NBA insider, sort of ESPN's basketball answer to Adam Schefter. Woj knows everything, talks to everybody. This is what Woj said they said, is Wembanyama the greatest basketball prospect ever? He said, I had more than one GM tell me they think Victor Wembanyama is the best prospect ever drafted in any American team sport. Like, with a better NBA prospect than any NFL or Major League Baseball prospect has ever been.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, no pressure.
Exactly. Like, hey, it's not enough that you're better than like Michael Jordan. We would like you to also be better than, Ken Griffey Jr., Mike Trout, Peyton Manning. Be better than all of them too. So,
immediately.
Yeah, and he does seem like a rounded kid, considering. And when they interviewed him, they didn't interview him about, what do you think about possibly being the first pick? No, they interviewed him with like, have you already picked out a place to live in San Antonio? I mean, they acted like there's absolutely no suspense whatsoever that San Antonio didn't win the first pick. San Antonio won Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a few odd and end things. And we're back. Okay, so let's talk a little bit. First of all, Montana Fouts, her injury diagnosis is out there now. What's the latest, Jimmy?
Yeah, per Murph, who was interviewed on the Gary Harris Show in Tuscaloosa on 100.9 FM, Patrick Murphy reported, now publicly we can say, that she has a hyperextended knee, and she's day-to-day. And he said truly day-to-day, and I took that to mean she might be fine even this weekend for the regionals. We might see her Friday or Saturday or Sunday, maybe in a big role, maybe in a limited role, or we may not see her at all. I literally took it to mean it's the most day-to-day thing possible, that each day they wake up and we'll see how it feels and whether she can go. I think the good news, or what I would say, what would be the best news possible here, Luke, is, I think more rest will be really good. I'm hoping, my personal hope is that Alabama can get through this weekend and win the regional without using Montana. A, it would be a confidence builder. B, it would really help the girls coming back to pitch on next year's team. C, it gives Montana a whole nother week to rest. And I do think it's doable. So my hope is that we don't see Montana. And then next weekend, when you're going to need Fouts, so you're not going to win. And she would be super healthy. As a matter of fact, that 2-week break, even with her arm, probably be a little helpful. So that's my hope. But it does sound like it's even possible that we'll see her over the weekend in the regional, maybe in the limited closer type role.
Then to close out, apparently Cameron Coleman did an interview with the guys over at 24/7, mentioned several teams, I think Clemson, Georgia, Auburn, a few others. Alabama really didn't come up, and it feels like he's sort of bypassing Alabama right now. But I know Joseph Hastings with On 3 has gone over, and apparently he's interviewing him today or going to check him out today. So maybe some things will change there. Maybe everybody's misreading, but man, that's a guy that I really want in this class.
Yeah, I like Cam Coleman a ton. I'm not sure. I think Alabama would like to see him in camp this summer, but also keep this in mind. You're probably only signing class. I mean, you're probably only signing 3. Obviously, you would take a 4th if he's just a great, great player. Alabama's already got Perry Thompson, who's a flip candidate. I mean, I think it's fair to say that you have Perry Thompson, but he makes you a little nervous. He goes on a lot of visits, a lot of trips. You also have Rico Scott, who Alabama loves. They had Rico Scott in camp last summer and went, this is a guy we got to have. They've been trying to get Rico Scott for a full year, and he finally committed. So you got Rico Scott and Perry Thompson. You probably want one more. There's rumors that Ryan Williams would like to reclassify to the 2024 group. That may or may not happen. And then you got other pretty big names out there that you're working on. So I don't know. It doesn't feel like to me, based on Hastings' take, that Cam Coleman is quite up the board like we think he should be. But I think it's also reflect how many wide receivers can Alabama take in this group, and you've already got 2, and a third may reclassify in, and you haven't even got to the summer camps yet. So I think with Cam Coleman, I would say it's in a little bit of a holding pattern with Alabama, and with him, he doesn't appear to be close to a decision. I think a real key, Luke, will be, does Cam Coleman come camp at Alabama this summer? Does he make an appearance in Tuscaloosa this summer? And that doesn't appear to be a certainty.
I was muted, but I was muted on purpose to give you plenty of breathing room there. And
I breathed. Okay. There was okay breathing.
I was worried to death about it.
Hey, I love Cam Coleman. I think he's incredible. And I'm sure Alabama's really high on him. How could they not be? But again, it is a numbers issue. Numbers still matter a lot.
Well, I mean, they just do, and you still evolve NCAA rules. I guess the only one you have to really adhere to now is you can only have so many people on the team. Everything else are out the window.
That's right. So, but the 85 is still a thing, and I know I get asked all the time, like, looks to me like Alabama's over the 85. I'm sorry, it's some really big lightning there. No, Alabama is not over the 85. It looks to be over 85, but they are not, because they are aware of the rules. They know the rules.
I think they do. All right, that's going to do it for today. We will be back tomorrow with more Jimmy Countdown and more other stuff. And until then, roll tide, everybody.
Roll tide.